So, hello and welcome to another episode of Exports ki Raye. And today we have our very own guest from UPES University of Petroleum and Energy Studies University Center for Continuing Education guest. He is, this man has 14 plus years of experience. He is IIM Alumni, entrepreneur, edtech leader, and the business head of UPES CCE. Let us all welcome Mr. Sumanth Palepu. Welcome, sir. As
Thank
we
you.
know that you are an IIM alumnus, tell us about your journey from IIM to business head.
Okay, so I'm an engineer first. Then I did my post graduation from IIM, Code. Post that, my first job was with Sony Television. That's when we were launching IPL, a very big phenomenon today, Indian Premier League. So I was one of the founding members of IPL, working with the likes of Lalit Modi, MS Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, big names, at that point of time. So 2 years I've been with Sony and IPL, and then inherently I always had a passion towards education. Also goes a little more with my own personal story. So I come from a lower middle class family, where for me the greatest holiday which my father took was to a movie, probably once in 3 months, whenever a big hero movie releases. So that's the kind of system which I grew up. And when I wanted to pursue my master's in the US, that was in IIM Alumni University and one of the top rank number 2 in the world, I did not get an opportunity to go there because of the financial restrictions which we have at our family. So that's where I worked, earned money, and then did my MBA from IIM. That shifted my life. So the minute I completed my IIM studies, working with a big asset like IPL, with a good organization like Sony, and the kind of compensation they were paying. So one thing I always believed is that education has the power to shift your lives from a lower middle class to probably an upper middle class. From something which you would have not imagined, you can explore those horizons. An engineer, worked in media, was working in marketing, production, etc. So I really wanted to be involved into education, and there was always an entrepreneur in me. So I wanted to combine both of them, and that's where around 2012, I joined a very early stage startup as one of the co-founders in education space, and grew it significantly both in the physical environment and also in the online environment. This startup was focusing more on giving skills to the students who are in colleges to make them employable.
Technical skills also.
Yeah, multiple skills, and making them employment ready.
Some short-term courses, right?
Yes. So that has been my journey in the education space, close to a decade of journey in education space today. Meanwhile, in around 2020, Global University Systems GUS was also looking to expand its online portfolio. UPS itself was looking to expand its online portfolio, and that's where the paths have crossed. And I also really wanted to work with a larger university system, with a larger organizational system which is globally present. And that's where I am today, heading this online business for UPS and for the GUS itself.
So, sir, why you chose UPES CCE? Like, what are the advantages this university offers? What are the qualities in this university that can engage the students and give the quality of education?
I think primary one very important reason, needless to say, UPS is among the top 100 universities in India. NIRF rating also says that. At a philosophical level, the UPS has always been a university which focused on providing quality education and making it accessible to as many students as possible. And that's the reason why when the Center of Continuous Education, which was focusing more on distance and online learning, came into picture, the whole idea was to see how can we ensure that we are reaching beyond the geographies of Uttarakhand and to more and more students. Today, for example, a lot of our students who study the distance programs are from Kerala. Now, any other day, it might have not been possible. We have a few students, studying a lot of students studying from South Indian territories. So the whole idea of providing such a quality universities education, making it accessible across geographies and across segments also. A lot of students who study with us, our distance learning programs, are working professionals. These are people who might not be willing to leave their jobs at this point of time, at least, especially in such an uncertain environment. Job security is a very critical part.
Yes.
And at the same point of time, you don't want to miss an opportunity to upskill yourselves in terms of higher education, in terms of probably getting, master's degrees, etc. So just because you're working and because the environment is insecure, you should not lose on an opportunity to study from a premier institution like UPES. And that's the inception of the Center for Continuous Education. If you look at that wording also, it's a continuous education. It keeps continuing, keeps empowering you, keeps upskilling you so that you can move ahead in your career. You can get your higher degrees, you can be empowered and you become a better professional yourself.
And I think this COVID situation also makes this happen, like online education and distance education. It gives a little kick.
Yeah, a lot of people keep asking this question, is this fad because of COVID? And I keep telling them two important things. COVID, yes, catalyzed this entire change, but people looking for online education has been before COVID also. Okay, and this is not a one-off instance of generated by COVID, but it's an habitual change which is coming among the learners. As I mentioned, imagine a working professional got an option of not quitting their job, yet getting an additional degree at possibly cost which is lower than the actual cost they would have incurred. Now that itself is a very strong proposition for someone. It's a very important need of a learner which is being met. And to add to that, today industry is also accepting these online degrees. So you are getting an online degree without quitting your job. You're getting yourself empowered, upskilled, and industry is accepting it. And all this happening at an affordable cost. I mean, if I were a learner, I have no other choice to go for.
Same, but students are still confused that the degree will be acceptable by top MNCs. They keep on asking this question, that whether they will mention the word online or distance in the degree, or the top MNCs will accept their profile or not.
See, this apprehension is probably, I would have understood a year or a couple of years back, I think, but right now from an acceptance level from industry, a lot of reports say that. I recently saw a report from IIM, one of my alma mater, and they very proudly claim and proclaim the fact that the entire batch which has passed out right now is fully online, and they've got probably the best placements ever in their entire season. In spite of being COVID, in spite of the students being fully online, okay, not a single class has happened physically, right? And they've got the best ever placements in terms of packages, in terms of 100% and more placements. So this is a testament. And this is not just today, even a lot of organizations, companies are adopting online to train their own employees, to upskill themselves. Okay, so while the apprehensions would still be there, because this is a shift of phenomena, any phenomena change which happens, it will not happen on 1 year or 2 years. It happens over a phase of time. But purely from an industry understanding and acceptance,
it brings out a lot of confusion and questions. But people accept it. Absolutely.
आजकल में अगर online is become such a norm, ये तो सब life में एक part हो गया. This was again an apprehension. I'm sure a lot of people are using a Big Basket, which is a very popular app where you probably purchase groceries for your home. 10 साल का back, nobody would have imagined. यार हम तो अगर we want to buy vegetables, हमें एक market जाना है, एक shop जाना, वो shop वाले से बात करना, वो touch and feel होना. But I think today, if you look at it, this has become the primary mode of consumption. Okay, convenience, the ease of doing certain things, the options, quality. Because one of the things you should understand is that अभी हमारा UPS programs में we bring in a lot of industry lessons, classes into it. We bring in a lot of global faculty classes into it.
You have these industry projects also.
Industry projects, say. Now, if a global faculty were to travel every day and every time during the COVID, might not be possible. But abhi, because it is online, इतना convenience आ गया, वो भी interest show कर रहे. Your industry people are coming and focusing on it. So understand the fact that the level of quality itself has gone up because of the online spectrum. Hence the acceptance from the industry.
So students, you have heard the expert. So it is not like कि आपकी डिग्री में ऑनलाइन लिखा है, डिस्टेंस लिखा है, या फिर आपको टॉप एमएनसीज आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं देंगे. इवन आपने तो फैक्ट भी सुन लिया कि आईआईएम में सबसे अच्छा प्लेसमेंट हुआ. फिर भी जब ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन हुई, इट इज लाइक ये सब अब मिथ हो चुका है एंड एवरीथिंग इज परफेक्ट. कुछ भी हो, आपकी एजुकेशन अच्छी होनी चाहिए, दैट्स इट.
Absolutely. And also thanks to this online degrees and online other programs that are coming through, penetration of quality education is also happening. Agar somebody want to study with UPS, तो नॉर्थ इंडियन टेरिटरी में या दिल्ली से जा रहे उधर उत्तराखंड में, सो इट वाज ऑलवेज रिस्ट्रिक्टिव. अभी पेनिट्रेशन हो रहा है, टायर 2 टायर 3 सबको एक्सेस मिल रहा है अभी. And वो तो accessibility at an affordable cost भी मिल रहा है. So suddenly the whole central purpose of education, quality education being accessible and affordable, that purpose is being met. So think from a student perspective also, ये तो एक अच्छा opportunity है. अगर आप online degree pursue करना चाहिए तो UPS का degrees are probably one of the best and they have a very strong student traction around it, industry acceptance around it.
Even the programs are quite different from
absolutely. Yeah. And I think that those are the kind of opportunities which they would have otherwise not been accessible to.
So sir, as you're an entrepreneur, you're in the field of sales and marketing, what do you think is the most important thing, like message or messenger in marketing?
दोनों के बीच में और एक important है वो consumer. I think the most important part of any marketing is understanding the consumer, who our consumers are, what needs of them are we meeting. Because every product when it is created, and you only market a product or you market an experience, it is to make a consumer delight, make them happy, service a need of this. So when you are able to understand the need of the consumer, then your message, your messaging सब अलाइन होता है वही चीज के लिए. So I think that is the primary important area. And also end of the day, what does your brand, what does your product stand? What is that you would like to have a perception about? For example, a lot of us use iPhones. iPhone's entire messaging or communications about experience, and you feel a pride when you own iPhone. You are a proud iPhone owner. Yeah. So they tend to create that need of wanting to have iPhone because it gives me a pride factor. So that's also about, because they always wanted to brand their device such a manner, इसलिए वो value भी ज़्यादा price करता है, क्योंकि when somebody owns something which is at a low value, you might not have a pride as much as when you own something which is at a higher value. So that is essentially the most important part. Consumer पे focus कर लो, उनका needs पे focus कर लो, सब उसके बाद है.
Tell us some of the tips to become successful business head or marketer. Tell us students, please. About
मुश्किल से question है. Because see, there's no one set rule. To become successful. First of all, the word successful itself is very subjective. Everybody has a different way they look at success. And for a rule for one person might not be similar to another person. So they keep changing. But just to give some kind of a framework, at least with my experience, I've worked with a lot of people who we believe are successful today and the kind of life they've moved on. One very critical thing which I've always saw is that when you start chasing some kind of excellency, when you start looking at, okay, how can I become better? And this is what typically I share with my team also. Har ek game mein na, there's an external game, there's an internal game. External is about somebody gives me something, I become successful. Internal is about I do something inside on me, I work on me so that I can become better. And I always saw that people who have played an internal game are the most successful set of people. क्योंकि हर एक लाइफ में ना external influence, external challenges, both external support, it comes, it goes. But if you are hinging your career, your growth, your success on external parameters which are uncontrollable, there are two things you're going to miss on. One, you can never control your success. Second, you will not get peace. Because har din it becomes a battle. So one thing I always learn about myself is whatever challenge comes in, whatever problem comes in, make it internal. See what internal you can change, where you can evolve to ensure that you're overcoming that challenge. And that's a place where learning becomes very important. Some other day somebody was asking me, when do you believe that you need to look out of an organization? I kept telling them, the top priority is whenever I believe I have stopped learning, the organization is not teaching me something, the job is not teaching me something, or I am not evolving. That's when I start looking out. Because if my learning stops, everything else stops.
Whenever you get into that comfort zone.
Absolutely. So there are two things which I would request, all our learners and whoever is the audience. One, focus on what you could. You start internalizing. You have to become a better person every day. What I was yesterday to what I am today. Even in the fitness world, we keep saying that, Kal, if you're able to do something, today you do a better job than that. That's how the transformation starts happening. Okay? And two, let that learning keep continuously going. Learning is a continuous aspect. When I was doing my marketing, almost 12-13 years back from IIM, the marketing which I learned, I don't apply today. Because the marketing then we never had digital marketing, never had performance marketing. Today, most of my business runs on such kind of marketing. So I again went back, become a student. Not I've joined the institute, but again, I keep learning. Because if I don't learn, I don't evolve. I can't run my team. They are better experts than I am. Okay, so these are all the things I think which have to be incorporated: continuous learning and internalizing the game.
Yeah, we should. Nothing is easy. We should keep that optimistic thought that we can do it. Right?
Absolutely.
What do you think the future of online and distance education is?
It's going to be amazing. There's no doubt about it. Probably one, of course, the business person in me is also speaking right now. But like I said, a very major need of a learner is being addressed. Convenience, accessibility, affordability, ability to pursue higher education without compromising on the current job. These are all very, very, very important needs of a consumer. Hence, the future looks amazing. See, any a business, any product or anything which we do, if it is satisfying an important need for somebody and it is really being helpful to someone, it is bound to be successful. So in this sense, if I like I mentioned in one of my earlier questions also, today if I am looking to learn further, neither do I have so much of time or space to leave my current role and go and join a full-time, higher MBA or something like that. Because I have my own things to be taken care of, right? From paying my own bills. So, but then I cannot still stop my learning. So I tend to go and look at certain online programs, online certifications, and then tend to upskill myself. Now that is a very important part in my life. I'm sure it is similar for all our audience also. So having that's my fundamental point. And understand the fact that if a global education can come to our doorstep at a fraction of the cost, and our learning is continuing, that to a quality set of learning, that's amazing. I mean, why do you even want to put a filter on stop this kind of a learning? It's only empowering the society. It's only making everybody, become better as professionals, as humans. That's the reason why Government of India is very strongly advocating online education.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
they were worried about the gross enrollment ratio, and they really want to. In fact, they've been one of the strongest support pillars for universities like us towards online education. Right from the amendments, they're coming in the policies, in the regulations, because they believe that this is the best solution going forward for the larger educational limitations which we have in our country.
They, they even give a lot of new guidelines.
Absolutely.
This mode of education, change
Yeah.
of mode of education.
And they're putting a lot of emphasis on the quality of the online education, the distance education which is being given. Earlier, it was like an extended arm of a university. Today, it's actually a very integral part of every university. Including university, as UPS, we invest a lot of money, a lot of effort and teams into developing the right content for the student in the online space.
We see that UPES offer a lot of different courses in comparison to other universities. So, what do you think the future of these courses? Like, what are the job opportunities students can see?
So while erstwhile UPS has been focused more on a niche set of programs like petroleum, energy, aviation, oil and gas, etc. Over the last many years, UPS as a university itself has expanded its portfolio. Today, we are seen as one of the best universities in data science, in IIML, in computer science pro set of programs. In law programs, it's NRF top 25 in law. Okay, our management programs, our management school itself is ranked number 46. So I think probably starting from where it was, today it's a lot more all-rounded university with a wider range of programs, which you'll also start seeing in from our Center for Continuous Education. You'll see more diverse set of programs coming through in the coming year and the subsequent years. So the whole idea is when there's a quality institution, while you might have started whichever way you might be, a lot of cricketers, India is a country where we relate to cricket a lot. You might have started as a spin bowler, okay, but then over a period of time, as we grow, you evolve as an all-rounder. Like Ravindra Jadeja, very popular, a cricketer. He might have started with one skill, but over a period of time, they evolve and build up an all-round abilities. Absolutely, which Indian is not a cricket fan, anyways. Okay, so I think UPS also has right now evolved. We have very recently launched 2 interesting schools. We have launched School for Liberal Studies, one of its kind. School for modern media, where we focus on journalism. We focus on the modern media. So a lot of things, a lot of schools, interesting schools and diverse schools are coming from UPS, which are the new age careers which are coming up also, and also the fact that every time it is coming out, the online school of UPS CCE is also evolving. It's also kind of bringing out these programs to the students.
So tell us more about this placement assistance. Like students think that in online education or distance education, they will not get the placement assistance. Tell us about UPS placement assistance criteria.
Okay, on this question of placements, ये तो ना बहुत tricky question है. People expect 100% placements. People expect a placement guarantee, and I keep telling them, no organization can ever give a guarantee on placements.
Even I tell them that no organization, even in regular education, they can never
give a guarantee
100%.
Yeah. अगर किसी ने बोला, especially in online education, that means they are kind of tricking you to join their course. So authenticity is very important, and that's the reason why I really wanted to convey this. However, and especially because a lot of our audience in online education are working professionals. उनको हर एक बंदे को different expectations से, different skill sets से, different experience spectrum is there. So trying to bring in a generic company to them might not even work for their own needs. So in CCE, we don't promote or announce placement guarantee. But what we also understand is that हमारे students का assisting in their upskilling, assisting them to get better jobs, better careers. forget about, as a marketing exercise. That's exactly my responsibility as a mentor to a student. So for me, it's more of a responsibility I take up to help our students. As I told you, for me, the center piece is student, learner. Who is my consumer? That learner. Whatever needs of the learner have to be met, I will be the first person to do that. And I ask my team to work towards that. Might it be the curriculum which will help them to get better jobs, academics, quality. Okay, other day I was sitting with my academic team. We were doing a workshop on how effectively can we deliver a particular lecture in an online spectrum. So that training exercises, that learning exercises, that could be assisting from the placement perspective, companies here, because UPS itself has a very strong corporate relations cell. So we lean on that corporate relations cell. We take their help in probably getting certain assistance for our own students also. And so our tying up with LinkedIn Learning, where we have a very strong tie-up with LinkedIn Learning, where people are trained in multiple other skills also, and through the LinkedIn portals, etc., enable them on the placements. And we are doing that left, right, and corner. We're trying with a lot of industry partners to ensure that our students are exposed to them, so that when they come and take a session, they know what kind of quality it is there, and probably they like somebody and they will absorb them also. So
there's this industry projects.
Correct, industry internships, projects. So all this as a 360 accumulation will put a student at a better opportunity. Almost every student alumni of the Center for Continuous Education always ended up with a higher package than which they've started their career. Now, do I guarantee that? Thankfully, so far, the quality of education we are offering, God's blessing, it has happened. And we see that to keep happening also. That is something which is a part of our internal DNA, not actually a marketing statement at all.
So we see that there is this importance of approvals and accreditations. What are the awards and accreditations does this UPES CCE University holds, and what is the importance?
See, UPS as a university is NACA, NRF top 100 university, UGC approved, needless to say. Now, I think for me, these awards or these recognitions is an element of credibility. It is not just what I speak, it's also what the government of India speaks, the regulators speak. It's also, these awards are not just given because you applied for it. There's a very stringent process. For example, for you to get an NRF top 100, there is so much of process behind it, so much of student perception, student who have been studying, their inputs are considered. The research the university does is considered. Research plays a very significant role in this rankings. The kind of quality education you offer, a lot of surveys and metrics, very tangible, measurable metrics are formed around it. The perception what industry has about you as a university is very important part to that, and the quality of faculty, the innovations you bring into your education system. So it's an all-round statement of how credible a university is. For example, if you look at UPES CCE as well, this is UGC DEB, the Distance for Education Bureau accredited online school or distance education school, which also means there is so much of credibility around the distance learning programs which we are doing right now. This has been accredited by the UGC DEB. So all this brings in credibility. That means a student does not have to worry about, am I going to the right university? Am I going to something which is recognized? Am I going to something which is more credible? All these are tick marks when you have this kind of accreditations and awards. Right? NAC A itself means it's a very powerful statement that a university is among the elite of the country. And obviously for a student, they would like to study from an elite university. All right. So that's the importance of these ratings.
Now we come to an end, and we have this very last and important question: that why choose UPES CCE?
Okay. A lot of universities, a lot of people, make a lot of marketing statements. I will put across as three aspects. One, as a university, as a as an online or as a distance learning education school, UPES CCE, our endeavor is always one important thing: make you as a learner, make you as a student succeed in your career. And we do that with pride, we do that with authenticity. Whatever effort we put in, whatever promises we make, whatever thought process we think, they're all aligned to only one thing: how can I make my student successful? How can I ensure that our learners, our students are moving ahead in their careers, are winning in their careers? That's the reason why we always follow this tagline at UPS also: in it to win it. So that, I think, is a very important piece. Are willing to fight for a student, for a learner, is a very important emotion to carry in every aspect of our delivery or our classes, the way we develop the content, the industry partnerships we bring in, the career assistance we provide, or the kind of global faculty we bring in. Everything has one central line: if I do this, how will it help my student to make him or her grow in their career? That is a philosophy. Of course, with that, the fact that we have quality education, we come from an NRF top 100 university. It's just not a part of one random university. It's a part of a larger ecosystem. So all these are additional flavors, the icing on the cake. Yeah. But the main flavor of the cake is that we fight for a student. For me, the greatest pride is when a student comes back to us and tells us, you know what, I've learned your program, I have grown in my career. And we have so many such testimonials. And that is for me a moment of pride. And that's exactly what every day we wake up and sleep to as well.
So students, UPES CCE is going to be a very good option for you if you're looking for online or distance education. Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful and knowledgeable session.
My pleasure.
I hope we will meet again and clear more questions of the students.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Right. I wish all our students, all our learners, all the very best in your careers. Do take your careers seriously. And the very important part of your careers is continuous learning. And universities like UPS, through its UPES CCE, are always there for you to help you grow in your career and to become a better professional. Thank you.